Hi, this is Michelle Bachman, and you are listening to Do Not Keep Silent.
Welcome to Do Not Keep Silent.
Speaking out the name of Jesus in action and word.
Encouraging and equipping. Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves.
Do what it says. Do not keep silent.
All right, well, welcome into this interview, everybody. This is Jason DeZurek, and so glad you are tuning in to Do Not Keep Silent. And to find out more information out about our ministry, you can find out at donotkeepsilent.com. Go to donotkeepsilent.com for more information out about what we do, and also worldviewwarriors.org. That's worldviewwarriors.org. I have a wonderful guest in today. Who's got a brand new book out called The Playful and Powerful Warrior Within You, and just a powerful testimony. And just a little bit of information before we get in there is he's a passionate entrepreneur, business developer, trainer, public speaker, and author who thrives on teaching people how to improve their lives. And 10 years ago, though, it was a different story. Our guest, Reynolds, was 40 years old and living the American dream as a successful business owner, and he enjoyed the thrill of accumulating things and the attention that came along with it, too. And despite having material success, however, Reynolds craved more. And as he says, I had a lot of stuff. He eventually became deeply depressed and even suicidal. And, you know, the guest we have today is G.J. Reynolds. How you doing, G?
I'm doing great, Jason. Thanks for having me on the show.
You bet. We are really glad that you're with us. And, you know, we talked a little bit off air. And, yes, I've been to your website, and just looks like you are quite the motivator guy. And if you would, can you just go into your testimony a little bit of, you know, where have you been? How did you get to this place you are today?
Well, I'm a former U.S. Sergeant in the United States Army, and got out of the Army and went to a career with a little company that's now known as Verizon.
Oh, wow.
And so I was in the telecom world for 10 years, and left that and became an entrepreneur because I saw all the layoffs and all the uncertainty and the different things that went along with that. And so I ended up just became an entrepreneur, and so the last 20 years I've been an entrepreneur and, you know, developed different businesses, and from small businesses to medium businesses, and medium business to large businesses, and I currently obviously I wrote the book pretty much last year, and I have a company called Visalis, and we have a 90-day health challenge. We help people get healthy, and people who want to promote that as well.
Okay.
I work with them all over the country.
Okay. And, you know, tell us a little bit about that as far as the health workout and everything.
Well, it's just very simple. You know, most people want to accomplish something, and what we found is most people are willing to do something in a 90-day period. So we just ask people, you know, what is it that you'd like to do in the next 90 days? And typically it might be the same as me. It might be a little different than me. However, let's find a way to do that together and help each other succeed in whatever it is that you want to do over the next 90 days. And from the health standpoint, you know, we have great health products. And, you know, whether you want to lose weight, maintain weight, gain weight, you know, or just really be healthy, and also save money, which a lot of people are looking at doing right now, is saving money from their, you know, the high cost of food. And we give, you know, what people require on a daily basis. So we save money for people, show them how to get healthy, and those who want to make money, we teach them how to do that as well.
Okay. You know, I'm looking here at a quote on your website from Dale Brown, who was the former LSU basketball and Hall of Fame coach. And everyone, this is what the quote says. It says, life can be so difficult at times that it is easy to become frustrated, disillusioned, bewildered, unhappy, and depressed. And what he says about you is G.J. Reynolds has come to the rescue with a sincere, thought-provoking plan to find success, happiness in a mixed-up world, and his transparency about his own depression and thoughts of suicide give his words credibility, end quote by Dale Brown there. Now, if you would, what is he talking about regarding, you know, your own struggle with depression and even suicide?
Well, as you alluded in the beginning, 10 years ago, we had, I was part of a company that we'd grown from pretty much nothing to a $120 million a year company. And long story short, the founder and majority shareholder got a little arrogant, got a little greedy, and upset the regulators. And they showed him that you either play our way or we'll force you out of business. And that's really what happened. And after sinking, all my effort into that company and doing everything that I could, I did whatever I could to, make it a successful company. And when it ended, it was just like, okay, what am I going to do next? And my personality has always been, hey, if it doesn't work out, something doesn't happen, it always ends up being a better situation. And for the first time in my life, I found myself unable to find what was going to be the next, part of my life, and from a business standpoint and a career standpoint. And then, obviously, I still had bills, money wasn't coming in, just spiraled out of control from, financially. And then just the ego kicked in, and, how could I get to this point, and all the different negatives of, being what most people would consider being midlife. And I was worse off at age 40 than I was at age 18. And so all those dynamics came together, and I just spiraled into depression, and, I became financially broken, mentally broken, and I wasn't doing what I needed to do physically. So even though I had the physical attributes, and mentally I was definitely checked out, and even spiritually. So all the key components of having a successful life I'd checked out. And so I, got to the point where I was actually suicidal. Mm-hmm. And from that, and that was on June 19th to 2001. And, God just grabbed a hold of me and said, there's a better way to live. I'll show you how. And, bit by bit that started to happen. However, it was a process. And anyone that's listening that may be, down or, feeling down or frustrated or disillusioned, as Coach put in his quote, it is a process. However, today's a new day, and we all have the ability to choose a new way. And, my book's all about the steps that work for me to go from that point to live in a very happy, successful, balanced, productive, and adventurous life. And so now, from one extreme on the pendulum to the other end, and I'm as happy as I've ever been, and life's great. And so now my whole mission is to help people transform some part of their life, whether it's part of their health through our challenge, whether it's through any trainings or teachings or my book, from a mental standpoint, and then from being an entrepreneur for 20 years, those who want to make money, I'm pretty good at teaching people how to be successful, in the business world. And right now, with all the economy problems and challenges that are going on, people are a little nervous about jobs or have no jobs. So what do? So I can help people find a solution for that.
Okay, awesome. Friend, I'm sitting down with G.J. Reynolds, who is the author of The Playful and Powerful Warrior Within You. And the subtitle there is How to Reclaim Your Personal Power and Live a Fulfilling Life of True Adventure. Again, that's the author, G.J. Reynolds. And you can find his book at powerfulwarrior.com, powerfulwarrior.com. Really encourage you to go check that out. I'm there right now, and it looks like you can even preview a free chapter right online. Is that right, G?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can preview that and get an idea of what the book was all about from the preface, and get a little insight.
Okay, excellent. And with this, you had mentioned in 2001 that God was revealing to you a better way. With that, could you go into that a little bit for our listeners to help them see that it's not all just you; it's leaning on God?
Well, most definitely. One of the chapters in the book is actually put God first, and to give you a little preface is that I'd always believed in God and believed went to church regularly as a kid, and so I had a pretty good fundamental understanding of Christianity, and as I got older, I thought I knew what was better for me, than anyone, including God. Okay. And so, and now looking back, I can definitely say that, God had a purpose. And he's like, hey, okay, you want to go your own way? I'll let you go your own way. When you fall, I'll be there. And if you're open, I'll show you a different way. And that's really what happened with me. And I had to get to that depth of, depression and instability to really wake me up. And, I'm a strong personality and, very diligent and hard charger, what some people might categorize me. Very focused, very determined, and strong-willed. And, so God just had to shake, let me fall a little bit and shake me up. And, the good news is he was there. And on June 19, 2001, I was on my back deck and I was ready to end it all. And, he just grabbed a hold of me, and then I just heard his voice. And it was the best way to describe it is when you have a child that is misbehaving, you grab them by the shoulders and you sort of get, you do it in a loving way, not in a harmful way. And you just sort of grab a hold of them enough to get them to get their attention. Okay. And that's really what happened with me. And the words that I heard was, you don't have a reason to die. You have a reason to live. I'll show you how. Mm-hmm. And then at that very moment, I thought I was, hallucinating or seeing things. And, it was the most beautiful day. It was an early summer day in Kansas City. And then I'm looking out and I didn't see anybody in their backyard or on their back porches or decks. And, I'm looking like, man, what's really going on? And it finally just started to click. And from that moment on, a total peace came over me, and ended up going and having a shower and just weeped in the shower, and it's like I needed a cleansing. And that's really about all I remember from that day. And then the very next day, I had a major dream, what I would call a vision, and God just basically showing me the view of someone else traveling the world, sharing their story and talking to different people and helping them change their life and in a variety of ways. And long story short, it ended up being I was watching me speak to all these people, and now I do that to some degree, and I know at some point I'll be speaking to people worldwide. I see where things are evolving for me with my company, and from the book. And so I see that's where it's happening, and I speak to a lot of groups and I speak to a lot of different cultures, and I can tell you this: everyone has a story, and everybody is looking for some type of peace in their life, and to some degree or in some area. And so I realize my story does have impact, and that's what prompted me to share my story and put it in writing and unveil that back in April.
Okay, that's awesome. And our listeners know I'm a huge buff of General George Patton, and it sounds as if one of his quotes that he has is, "Success is not how high you climb, but success is how high you bounce once you hit bottom." Would you agree with that?
Well, I would say that's definitely a key factor. I tend to migrate more to the Coach John Wooden's quote. Okay. Success is simply a peace of mind, and knowing that you've given the best. The self-satisfaction of knowing that you've given the best to be the best that you are, and so knowing that you've done your best, that's really true success. We do as a society, we measure people by what they have and what they look like and so forth. However, really true success is what comes from inside, and the only person that knows that you did your best is yourself. And so that's the definition of success that I tend to
Yep, that is excellent. I love John Wooden as well. He was an amazing man, and he's hanging out with his wife right now. So,
yes, he is.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to Do Not Keep Silent.
Find us online at worldviewwarriors.org.